So if you're watching this video, you probably already know that Bunny.net is very popular with its WordPress plugin and its CDN. But did you know you can actually deploy WordPress itself to Bunny.net? Magic Containers lets you run Docker containers on Bunny's infrastructure. And today we are going to learn how we can deploy a WordPress site in just a few minutes. No servers to manage and persistent storage is included. So before we dive in, WordPress needs two things. The first thing is the application itself and a database. We're going to use the official WordPress Docker image and pair it with MariaDB, both of those running inside of an app in separate containers. Bunny's WordPress template sets up all of this for you, automatically including those persistent volumes, so your content and database survive on restarts and redeployments. To continue, you'll obviously need to sign up to Bunny.net and create an account. Don't worry, all new signups get some free credit where we can try it out. So let's dive into the dashboard and have a look at the template and what it gives you. Alright, so here I am inside of the templates directory and I'm going to scroll down and click on WordPress. Then we can see we can give our application a name and you can call this whatever. It's just for Bunny to show you your different applications and you can create as many WordPress sites as you like. Then with the application architecture, here we can see the environment variables that are automatically provisioned for us. You of course can make any changes to these, including all of your secret keys and salts and everything else. Just one thing to make sure of though is that your database credentials match inside of the application the same environment variable values, so the application can talk to the database. Make sure to check a location that's best for your blog. Then once that is done, we can click deploy. Then we'll be redirected to our application overview. So we'll give this a few minutes and then we should see that we have an active URL on the Bunny.net CDN. And if we visit this, we get the classic WordPress install page where we can add a super secure username. It's always best to use a secure username and of course a password. Then add an email and we are pretty much good to go. Once that's installed, we should see some kind of success screen and we can then log in with those same credentials that we provided during our setup. And once we log in, we'll be redirected to our WordPress dashboard. And at this point, this is WordPress. This is WordPress running on your own magic container that you have full control over, which is pretty cool. And if we view the site here, we can see on the Bunny.net CDN, we have our new WordPress site. And this CDN is pointing to that Docker deployment. And we can do lots of cool things like you can with any other WordPress site, such as replying to comments and adding plugins, themes, and whatever else. So that only took a few minutes to install WordPress on Bunny.net's magic containers, but now let's have a look at how we may add plugins. And no surprise, if you go to the plugins page inside of the WordPress dashboard, you can find the plugin that you want to install and we can activate it. So here we'll just pick a very silly plugin to install, but it should show us that this is all working. So here we'll install this cursor plugin and we can configure which cursor effect we want to add. And once this is done, we can save these settings, visit the site, and, well, we'll see that plugin working on our deployment, which is pretty cool. Now, if we head back to the dashboard, we can go and see our tools and our plugins that are installed, and if we wanted to, we can actually edit the plugin inside of the dashboard. But if you've been using WordPress long enough, you'll know that if you have access to the file system, well, you can upload and modify any of the plugins through there instead of the dashboard. If you are building a custom plugin or you have a plugin from somewhere else that you need to upload that isn't available to kind of one-click install from the WordPress plugin directory. Now, it's not possible to SSH into our magic container, so what I'm actually going to do here is add an additional container to our application, and this will be the file browser Docker image. This is a very simple UI that allows us to log in and manage files, which is pretty cool. So it's important here that this will run by default on port 80. So when we are configuring this, we'll need to add that endpoint, then we'll need to set a new container port to a custom port that we define. So let's just change this to 8085 and save and update that endpoint. And then inside of our environment variables, we'll add the environment variables that were detected from Docker here, but we'll want to add a custom one, which is the FB_port, and we'll use that same port 8085. This will make sense in a few minutes, but let's now go back to general and we'll point this file browser to the container persistent storage volume that is running on our application. So here we can manage different things inside of our application file system. You could go on to do this for your database later. Maybe it's using something like phpMyAdmin, but let's save that, update our container, and that will be now provisioning and deploying. And we'll come back to these logs in just a sec because that file browser will actually output a password that we can use. It will automatically generate one, and then we can use that to log in. So here I am inside of our endpoints, and we can see there's two different endpoints, one for the file browser and one for WordPress. The file browser one, if you don't need the file browser, don't install this container image. If you do, but you want to make it extra secure, just remember to remove this endpoint perhaps. So if anyone does discover it, they can't log in because they won't be able to discover it. So yeah, remove it as well. So back inside of the logs, if we just search for password and we get the latest password that was generated for us for that file browser, we can go to that URL and we can log in. And here we can see our plugins folder, and we can see the plugin that we just installed a few minutes ago. And we can obviously upload and change and download anything here. And those are persisted to that volume, which is pretty cool. And this is where you would obviously upload any custom themes. So that's WordPress on Bunny.net's Magic Containers, a full 3-container setup with persistent storage, all deployed in a few clicks. The WordPress template is available on the Magic Containers dashboard right now, so go and check it out. If you want to go further, you can add a custom domain, or you could do the full manual setup without this template to learn a little bit more about how things like volumes work and are mounted across your containers. So give it a try, let us know what you built, and if you've got any other ideas for the kind of thing you'd like to see deployed to Bunny.net's Magic Containers, share it in the comments below or head on over to Discord. This video actually came from Discord when someone was curious how to deploy WordPress to Bunny.net. So see you over there. Thanks.